तव कथामृतं तप्तजीवनं कविभिरीडितं कल्मषापहं श्रवणमङ्गलं श्रीमदाततं भुवि गृह्णन्ति ते पुरिदा जना. So we are discussing about Vidyasagar nature. Vidyasagar, Vishwachandra Vidyasagar, even though he was a student of Hindu philosophy, was very much reluctant to give any instruction, spiritual instruction. He was a very great scholar, very humble person. But once he was asked, when M asked him his opinion of it, Vidyasagar said, I think the philosophers have failed to explain what was in their minds. But in his daily life, he followed all the rituals. He was, even though he never gave any explanation, instruction, but he was following all the rituals. He never denied, never commented. And then, see, this is the difference between Vidyasagar and other activists, especially social reformers. Once they become, they think if they are intellectual, then start criticizing all the rituals, all the traditions. By criticizing traditions, they think that they feel that they are intellectuals. See, society does not require intellectuals. Society requires wise people. If you take whole history of India, so many problems, social problems, all those things have come. Who lifted? Not by political power. See, yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata, when Sri Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, who are those people? Who is that avatara? He is a wise man. Whether you accept avatara, whether you accept him as an incarnation or whatever it may be, he is a wise person. And then they are very humble also. Whatever they know, they speak. Similarly, in Greek philosophy, in Greek civilization, great philosopher was born, Socrates. Then Socrates asked, why people are calling you a wise man? Then what he said, Socrates is a wise man because he knows that he knows nothing. He was telling, Socrates knows that he knows nothing. Because you cannot, vast, whole universe is, we think that we know everything. Because knowledge is infinite. As you explore, go on exploring, more and more knowledge will be revealed. That is why in Upanishad, when the disciple goes and asks Guru, oh teacher, please teach me that knowledge, by that knowing that everything will be known. Because you cannot, by external knowledge, it is infinite. As you go more and more, as you explore, you are nothing. So what is the source of all these things? That is what all great people, great rishis, the rishis are called wise men. They are not intellectuals. So that is why Sri Ramakrishna was very much respectful for Vidyasagar, because he was not only intellect, he was a wise man. Great intellectual, he knew Shastras, thoroughly studied. And then he has got his own opinion about traditions. And then he was against certain, whatever the Brahmo Samaj they were working for, he was supporting also. And he was opposing all evils practiced during those days, evil practices in the society. All those things were there, but never went against, radically never went against anything. That is what Sri Ramakrishna said about Vidyasagar. Vidyasagar is standing on the edge of realization. If he just tries, he'll be completely liberated. He'll become saint. So that was his opinion about Vidyasagar. So this Vidyasagar, about God, he was asked about God. it is indeed impossible to know Him. What then should be our duty? So what he said, it is impossible to know God. His opinion. But it seems to me that we should live in such a way that if others followed our example, this very earth would be heaven. Everyone should try to do good to the world. That is his opinion. At least how we should live, at least people should follow. Seeing us, people should follow us. Like that we should live. What to do? We have to do good to the world. That is his opinion. When he was talking about this, when conversation was going on, then Sri Ramakrishna turned towards the knowledge of Brahman. Sri Ramakrishna, see what his opinion about God, but in one sense it is right. You cannot know God through your senses. What Sri Ramakrishna is here is giving clarity. Sri Ramakrishna's conversation now turned to the knowledge of Brahman. Master, Brahman is beyond Vidya and Avidya, knowledge and ignorance. It is beyond Maya, the illusion of duality. So here clearly Guru Maharaj gives. The world consists of illusory duality of knowledge and ignorance. It contains knowledge and devotion, and also attachment to woman and gold, righteousness and unrighteousness, good and evil. But Brahman is unattached to these. Good and evil apply to the jiva, the individual soul, as do righteousness and unrighteousness, but Brahman is not at all affected by them. So here Sri Ramakrishna clear answer is giving. So what Vidyasagar had opinion about God, in one sense that is true. Yes, you cannot know God through your sense, through your mind. Yato vacho avang manasa gochara. Even you cannot think. Yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasasaha. Upanishad says, you cannot express, you cannot think about Brahman. It is beyond all. So all illusions belong to Jiva. Jiva means one who identifies with this body and mind. Actually in Shastra, then why you should read Shastra? Even what Shastra says, even the Shastra, Veda also is not eternal. What you give respect to Shastra, Veda, Upanishad, that is also not eternal. Vedo avedho bhavati. Veda itself says. Then why should we read? When you cannot know through this, even Veda also will not give. Then it will only take you to the highest. But that Veda also not eternal. Then why we should read? Why should we read Shastra? Why you should study scriptures? This is the question. The same Shastra says. Our tradition says what it says. There are two types of illusion. Illusion is two types. One is called samvadi brahma. Samvadi brahma. Asamvadi brahma. There are two types. Samavadi brahma, asamvadi brahma. The brahma, illusion is two types. For example, in the midst of dark room, suppose you are going in dark place, somewhere in temple is there. From temple doors, you are something is flickering. Light is emanating from that small hole. A person thinks that, I think that light is coming from gem, he thinks. So he thinks, he is in the midst of light. The light of I think it is the light of gem. Then he goes. First what he thinks, maybe gem. So I think it is light is coming out of that gem. He goes near and opens the door. And actually it is a gem. He finds. So first he starts believing, yes, it must be. There is a light. The light is coming out from through that hole. That light is emanating from that gem. That is how he finds, and actually he finds the gem. The another person thinking that first some light is coming somewhere through hole. He thinks that something is there, some gem is there, but he opens it. When he opens it, it is not a gem, it is coming from the lamp. Light is emanating from the lamp. With the two different knowledge. One is you go through some belief and finds the truth. That is the Samvadi Brahma. Yes, you start with illusion. You can actually first in beginning in illusion. Then afterward through that illusion only finds that truth. See, we hear that Vedanta is what they give example. Whatever you start with, you are going in that path. If that path takes you to the truth, that is Samvadi Brahma. So scriptures will take you to the realization of truth. The Shastra, Veda, Upanishad, Brahma, Bhagavad Gita, whatever the Shastra you believe, that will take you to the truth, take you to the realization. It doesn't mean that what path itself is, truth, you cannot say that. It is also illusion. The path also illusion. In that sense, even Veda, the scripture also illusion. But through that illusion, you will reach the truth. That's what Vedanta says. The another path you go, you don't believe anything, you go in your own way, but that will not take you to the truth. That is Asamvadi Brahma, they say. The two types of illusion. So Vedanta, this is not, I am not saying it is, our Shastra says. Even Shankara also says this. That is why here, Sri Ramakrishna, what he is telling, illusion, all these things, everything except Brahman. Here clearly what Guru Maharaj says, Brahman, so everything, you see, but Brahman is unattached to these, good and evil, but Brahman is unattached to these. This illusion, individual soul, do righteous and unrighteous, all these things depend, it is affected by this only for Jiva. Only for Jiva, all these qualities, good and bad, evil, righteous and unrighteousness, all this because of this duality world. But Brahman is completely separate from all these qualities. See, the story is there in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. In the court of Janaka, Yajnavalkya comes, all the Pandits were assembling. Then Janaka was doing some sacrifice. So during that sacrifice, whoever he ordered, all the Pandits, whoever thinks they are topmost Pandits, so they can take away all the cows. The cows on their horn, each cow will have one gold coins will be tied on their horns. Every cow will have gold coins. The 1,000 cows, all the 1,000 cows will be given to that Pandit who is a Mahabrahma, who is a scholar among all. Greatest scholar will get. Then immediately Yajnavalkya stood up. All other Pandits did not dare to get up and take away that. Nobody came forward. When Yajnavalkya ordered his disciple, Samashya, his name, called that boy, take away all these cows. Then other Pandits, other Brahmanas got up. So why is you so arrogant? Do you think that you are so great? Why you are doing this? One Brahmana got up. Then he said, I want this, that I am taking it. First you prove it. You are the greatest among all the Pandits. First you have to prove it. Yes, you ask question. Then he ask question. Then Ushasta. So first dialogue, one after one person, Kohala, Ushasta, Artha Bhaga. There are so many people put question one after the question. So this Ushastha gets up and asks question. You tell what is the truth, sacrifice, all those things. The truth, the Brahman, he speak about Brahman. Brahman, he says, Brahman, this self is very near, at the same time it is very far. It is something, and again he says, it is neither knowable nor unknowable. Then Shastra was not satisfied. Then you should tell me clearly, you are giving something concept. I cannot believe. If you give concept like this, you clearly tell. You clearly give correct answer. Like this is a cow. The cow is there, this is cow. I can say clearly, suppose here a tumbler is there, a glass is there. This is a glass, a clock is there, is a clock. Clearly you can say it is perceivable. But it is not perceivable thing. How can you say there is something existing, there is Brahman exists? Then he says, then Yajnavalkya says, you cannot see the seer of seeing. He says, you cannot see the seer. Have you ever seen yourself? He say, I know. Then Yajnavalkya says, you cannot see the seer of seeing. You cannot hear of the hearing. You cannot know the knower of the noble thing. You cannot thinker of thoughts. All he says. Because all through self, all these things are perceivable. It is subjective. How can you know yourself? It is not an object. That's what Sri Ramakrishna is telling here. Through that self, you are able to perceive all these objects. You cannot see the seer of the seeing. You cannot thinker of thoughts. Yajnavalkya answers. This is the self. If somebody asks, who are you? What we say? We identify something else. If somebody goes and asks, who are you? First what you tell? I am so and so. I am a doctor, I am an engineer. You are connecting yourself to your profession. But when you go back to house, if you are in a hospital, if you are a doctor, somebody will come, who are you? I am a doctor. When he goes back to the house, there also, does he say like that, I am a doctor? No. What he says? I am a so and so. Father so and so, father of so and so, uncle of so and so. You are identifying something else which you are not actually. See, people are here. So many people are there, sitting here. Then how to identify? You are given names. So each one has given name. Suppose some Ramakrishna, Sita, something names are there. These are the names. Really you are Sita, you are a Ram, or really you are a Krishna? You just identify, for that to identify, that name as given. Then who are you then? Then we have to question. This is how the vichara, this is Vedanta sadhana, this is, the yoga sadhana, you have to meditate, yama, niyama, all those things. And bhakti yoga, you have to practice bhakti. Then you have to do worship, and then you have to do japa, dhyana, all those things. And Vedanta sadhana, they don't prescribe you to do meditation. So Vedanta sadhana is not like that. They don't accept, okay, this may help. According to Vedanta, yoga also is a karma. Japa also karma, meditation also karma, upasana they call. All those things are karma. Karma will not give you realization. That is what, according to Vedanta. I am not saying that it is right or wrong. What is their opinion, what is their, the process of technique, their process of realization is that vichara, you have to do vichara. Then who are you? This is the question. You have to question yourself. You have to go on question yourself. Then when you go on question, you are you then. People, so many are there. That is what we call Atma. Om. What our Vedanta says, Upanishad says, who are you? Just Om. What is Om? What is the meaning of Om? I. Actually, the Vedanta just meaning of I. Om itself is Om itself is I. I. Literally, it actually, okay, because I have to explain it, oh, what is the meaning of Om? That is I. Through Aham, it has become Om. So, all of you people put together here, you cannot Om. You don't say Om. You cannot say. You cannot say like this. Because you are living in dual world. You are living in this illusory world, in this world, manifested world. So you cannot say Om. If somebody asks you, who are you? Om. You cannot say like this. But you have to identify something. But it is not. Is it true? Is it really you? No. You are not that. Then you are you then. Then we say, Aham Brahmasmi. Aham Brahmasmi. But even that also, what Vedanta says, one should not be proud of Aham Brahmasmi. Even that is also wrong when you say Aham Brahmasmi. Aham Brahmasmi, the statement is not a statement of expression, it is a statement of experience. Aham Brahmasmi is a statement of experience. You have to experience yourself Aham Brahmasmi. That is why Ramana Maharshi did not speak. That is why nothing to speak. He kept quiet. What to speak? If I say Aham Brahmasmi, that means then immediately that the separateness comes. Aham Brahmasmi. Aham Brahmasmi, who are you then? Aham means I am Brahmasmi, then you. Then who? I think Brahma is, I am Brahma, superior. Brahman is superior. I am superior. And superior to whom? The question comes. When you put question Aham Brahman, you say Aham Brahmasmi, then next question comes, superior to whom? Brahman itself is superior. I am Brahman. I am superior. I am superior to whom? That is why Aham Brahmasmi, you should not simply, or casually should not say like this. The Vedanta Charcha, when they say all great people, these raised souls, that was the Ramana Maharshi, why he did not just was keeping it always, kept mum, always. Somebody goes and asks questions, some problems, you find out who is facing problems. The all question comes, suppose if I say Aham Brahmasmi, I am superior to whom? There is nothing superior than Brahman. When you superior, the Brahman itself is superior, there is only one, you cannot say two. And then you cannot say I am Brahmasmi. Aham Brahmasmi is an experience. It's a statement of experience. You have to do japa. When during our sannyasa, they give the Mahavakya, along with Prashamanta, sannyasa, mantra, all those things. So, when you give, it is not for giving. We get japa mantra, gurus give mantra diksha, you do japa. As slowly, of course, it will take you to realization, that is different thing. But when they gave us this Mahavakya, Guru gives Mahavakya, it is not for doing japa. They clearly says, it is not for doing japa. You have to be in that consciousness. You have to experience, I am that. Whatever comes, you accept it. So whatever good or bad, just you accept. When you start accepting all those things, good or bad, that means you are separate. I am not danger. I am not suffering. This is not for me. I am separate from this. That consciousness should be there. But to have that consciousness of Brahman, consciousness of I am the Atman, for that, you say, that is the given, that Mahavakya. That is called that Mahavakya. Why they call Mahavakya? It is to be experienced by the individual. It is not express yourself. Aham Brahmasmi. Go casually say, Aham Brahmasmi. It is ridiculous to say, Aham Brahmasmi. You have to experience it. That is why Sri Ramakrishna, why he is telling all these things. all the differences only for individual. For Brahman is beyond everything. There is nothing beyond that. That is the superior. You are that. In Tattvamasi, when Guru says Tattvamasi Shvetaketu, then he explains, Aham Brahmasmi. Not, yes, I am Brahma. You will not say, you will not tell that, yes. When Guru said Tattvamasi Shvetaketu, then he gives, yes, I accept it, I am Brahmasmi. He did not tell like this. Tattvamasi, then he explains, is it though? Like this. This is experience. And same thing, because even Buddha also, later Buddhists, they gave different theory. And Buddha also explained the same thing. Somebody went and asked, does God exist? Does Atman exist? Then Buddha said, did I ever say like this? He said. Then another person came, same question. That means God does not exist. Do you mean, according to you, there is no God? Did I say ever like that? I did not say. He never said God exists. He never said God does not exist. And Sri Ramakrishna gives for that this statement, what Buddha, yes, he cannot express. That is why he said like this. You cannot express. What is that? So, here, all these activities, whatever you do, I am speaking to you, you are listening. Who is experiencing this? Who is experiencing? See, you cannot express anything. Suppose, for example, this one, Mysore Pak is there. Somebody asks, how Mysore Pak tastes? Can anybody explain this? You may say, sweet. It will have sweetness. But to have sweetness, why you should eat Mysore Pak? Can you eat directly sugar? Both are sweet. But you cannot express. How Mysore Pak tastes? Anybody, any Mysore Pak, jalebi, or any, whatever you like it. Very tasty food I had. So nice. Then describe how the tasty food. Can you describe it? Cannot describe anything. What is that we are not able to describe? Something we enjoy. Why? What is the truth? What we are experiencing? What is the truth? We are not able to express. Something beautiful, so wonderful. You see. What is that? How wonderful? Please explain. You cannot explain. That means you enjoy it. That this is how you experience this Brahman. This is how you realize it. So how they work for this to realization? Shrotavya mantavya nityasya. You have to listen and go on, meditate upon that. Reasoning. Shrotavya mantavya. Go on and contemplate on that. Then you will come out of knowledge. That knowledge will just reveal from within. That knowledge will reveal by itself. Then you enjoy. This is the truth. So this is how this Vedantic sadhana, Vedantic practitioners, how they do sadhana. Not by, of course, devotees, they do japa, dhyana, go to temples, all those things. And then yoga practitioners, they meditate, continuously meditate, and yama, niyama, all those things. But Vedantic sadhana will be like this, vichara, continuous go on vichara. That is why Vedanta philosophy, Advaita Vedanta philosophy is a negative philosophy, not positive philosophy. It is negative philosophy. How they start? Not this, neti. Just whatever comes, no, not this. You close their eyes, I am not this body. Just at least everyone, once in a life, at least once in a day, at least one time, whenever you get time, just you have to think, I am not this body. Just to close your eyes, just to go on meditating, then close your eyes, and then think about yourself. Am I a body? No. You just go on contemplate this. You separate yourself from this body. Yes, I am not the body. This is something jada. This body is jada. So, like this, close your eyes. And then when thoughts comes, just you separate yourself. Am I thought? Am I mind? Am I a mind? Am I a body? Just question this vichara. So then slowly you separate yourself. As you go on doing this, most of the problems will be solved. You suppose whenever you get any problem, anywhere you feel something calamity, some problems, if you are feeling depression, and people were getting depression, the best medicine for depression, just you think yourself, close your eyes, go to your room inside, think yourself, am I this? Who am I suffering? Who is suffering? My body? My mind? Just thought comes. You separate yourself. Then all those problems within minute it will solve. Your depression will reduce. People do not know the techniques. Anybody, doctors are there, if they teach these things, so nobody will suffer from depression. Nobody will suffer from depression. They practice every day. Even just once in a day, at least for 10 minutes you should practice, even 5 minutes you should practice, most of the problem will be solved. So that is such a thing they discovered, our great rishis, they discovered, such a wonderful truth they discovered. Then all the problems will be solved. Sri Ramakrishna, all great saints, how they realized, just go on doing vichara. Of course, Sri Ramakrishna practiced all those sadhanas. All those sadhanas ultimately lead to the same reality. Whether you bhakta, whether you are jnani or yogi, these are all techniques. According to your mindset, according to your tendency, you can choose that path and then go towards. And ultimately where it takes you, where those paths will take you, the same reality. So this also one path, this also is a very, very good technique actually. When you meditate, do japa. Sometimes when you are doing japa, the mind wanders here and there. When you seek for meditation only, problem comes. Normal when you are working, you will not have any problem. When you close your eyes, all those things, all thoughts will come. All the enemies will come to your mind. That fellow has done nothing. I have to do this. In mind itself, in closing your eyes itself, so much of grudge will be there. When meditation time only comes. You must have experienced, I think. So, normal it is. So, of course, you have to, all of a sudden it will not come. Go on practicing it. So, during practicing like this, when you are doing japa, this also can be practiced. Just go on thinking, I am not this, I am not this. I am a body, just to, suppose when you are suffering from physical ailments, physical ailments are there. Just to close your eyes, you separate yourself, even the pain also will go. It is not my speculation, my own experience. Just to close your eyes and separate yourself, the pain will reduce. Pain will disappear. You will never suffer. So that is how. Because you are going towards the reality. That reality is nothing, no pain, no pleasure, no righteousness, no good, no evil. And who is suffering? That is why when Ramana Maharshi asked, somebody goes and asks, I am in so much of problems. Then he asked, just to think who is suffering, who has got problems. Question it. So that is how, see, this Brahman, this reality is beyond all righteousness and unrighteousness. Sri Ramakrishna then. So this Atman, this consciousness, making us all these activities, reasoning, everything. Then why is so much of evil in this society? Why is so much of evil? Because we are identifying with those problems. Sri Ramakrishna says, one man may read the Bhagavata by the light of a lamp, and another may commit a forgery by that very light. But the lamp is unaffected. The inside lamp is unaffected. then you try to identify that lamp. That is what Sri Ramakrishna is telling. Instead of identifying with that, whether body and mind, through that light only this body mind works, you identify that lamp. When you identify that lamp, the problem shall be, you don't feel that it is my problem. You don't feel that problem at all. So one man may read Bhagavata by the light of a lamp, and another may commit a forgery by that very light. But the lamp is unaffected. The sun sheds its light on the wicked as well as on virtuous. The sunlight comes. So many people, if sunlight gives to wicked people also, good people also, or bad people also. Does sun get affected by wicked men, wicked people? No. Like that only, this Atman, this consciousness, never affected by external things. Only when identifying this, because that's why Shankara clearly says in the Adhyasa Bhashya, in Brahma Sutra, here, non-self and self both are mixed up. Because of mixing up mixing up is non-self and self, we are getting confused in society. This is right. What is self? We think that is non-self. What is non-self? That we think that is self. Clearly, so wonderfully, Shankaracharya gives in Adhyasa Bhashya, in the beginning, introductory to Brahma Sutra. When you read that Shankaracharya's Adhyasa Bhashya, then you will understand what an intellectual great giant he was. Shankaracharya's intellectual, if you want to understand his intellectualism, is of course not only just intellectual like other present intellectuals. His intelligence is something beyond. It cannot unimaginable. When you read the introduction about Brahma Sutra, he explains what is Adhyasa, what is superimposition, what is Maya. Wonderful explanation. What he says, everything is mixed up. We are mixing up with Yushmad, Ashmad, Gochara, Vishya, Vishinyo. I and you. I means I am this. I am. I means with identifying this body and mind. What actually this body, mind is separate from you, but you are mixing up both. You think that this body is you. Ashmad, Yushmad, Gochara, that is a pratyaya, that is what that vritti is going on both all the time. Ashmad, Yushmad, inside I am, what is not I am, we think that I am that. What is that I am? I am so and so. I am Ishapremananda. This is also Ajnana only. I am thinking myself and I am sannyasi, that is also Ajnana only. Thinking I am a sannyasi, I am a virtuous man, that is also Ajnana. You are the Atman, that is the only truth. Why this and then why you are taking a sannyasa, you may ask. Why you are taking sannyasa? Because it helps me, it reminds me that you are a sannyasi, you are renouncing everything. This kashaya, this garva, this ochre cloth represents renunciation. What you have to renounce? You have to renounce that you are a sannyasi. That also should, ultimately, you have to renounce that you are a sannyasi. You are neither so and so, you are a scholar, good or bad, all those you have to renounce. Along with that, finally, ultimately, you should renounce that you are a sannyasi. That identification also should be given up. Always you should think, you should meditate, you should contemplate, you are the Brahman, Aham Brahmasmi. Just they don't give sannyasi, simply they don't give kashaya, this akar cloth. All those process, all those tradition, all those process after being given, all the process being done, finally there will be this kashaya vastra. Just to remind you that you are a sannyasi, you should follow the path of jnana. You have to constantly, you have to remember that you are the Atman. You are not belong to anything. You are beyond caste, beyond dharma, adharma, all everything. You are constantly, you should think that you are the Atman. Brahma Satya Jaganmitya Jivo Brahmaiva Naparaha. That you are constantly, you should have that consciousness to remain, or that not to that get wearing that akar cloth gets Ashtanga pranams from devotees. That is for that purpose is not given. It is not given to us to this cloth to get pranams from devotees. It is given to us to remind us that you are a sannyasi. You have to renounce her of everything, all relations, all vitteshana, lokeshana, putreshana, all those things, all the yeshana, trayas, you have renounced. You have belonged to that Brahman. You are one with Brahman. That is the purpose. Sannyasa dharma means that is the dharma. That dharma you have to follow. So similarly, Grihastha also, slowly by step, they have to go towards that one. So those who cannot renounce at the same time, that is why in our tradition what they given, Grihastha dharma, Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, finally Sannyasa. All the steps given. Those who cannot give up beginning itself, finish all those duties, take sannyasa mentally. Not necessarily to should take sannyasa. Sannyasa doesn't mean that just taking sannyasa, putting garva cloth, yes, you are a sannyasa. Not like that. One should not feel that just putting a garva cloth, just putting a hakar cloth, yes, sannyasi. You cannot call it. Even a householder may be a sannyasi. After finishing all his duties, if he renounces everything, if he is completely detached from the samsara, mentally, he also is a sannyasi. He is also called as sannyasi. That is the purpose. What is the goal of life? That is what Sri Ramakrishna said. What Sri Ramakrishna said? For householder, what is Sri Ramakrishna is telling? In one hand, hold Bhagavan, hold on to the God. Rest to do all other duty, perform all your duties and all, just like be like maid servant. Maid servant, she does everything, all the works, all the household chores she finishes, and her mind always fixed on her own son or daughter, baby. Where is it? Like that, do just like that. Be in this world like that. Do all your duty. Fix your mind on God. That is also sannyasa. Not necessarily take sannyasa for formality. But it is why you are taken sannyasa. Why I have taken sannyasa? The Shastra is given us option. Nakarmana na prajyadane tyagene ke amritattvamanushu. Some, those who they do nakarmana, na give up all the duties, na prajya, give up all the prajani, dhanena, all wealth, directly they go without going step by step, without going to the grihastha, directly some will go directly to for the path of jnana. So that option also given, so some will choose that path, some will choose the path. So ultimately, every one of us, that is the goal of human life, that is the goal of Sanatana Dharma. What we have to teach, what is our spirituality, religion, not for glorifying the religion. Religion is glorify yourself, your inner self, your real self. The religion is meant to realization. Religion is not to propagate your religion, propagate your beliefs. Religion is not for belief. Religion is not meant to propagate your belief. It is not speculation. According to Sanatana Dharma, according to our Hindu religion is realization. Religion meant for realization. Because why this realization? What is the necessary of realization? Because your nature is that. Everybody wants to freedom. Everybody wants to be happy. Anybody is there to want to be unhappy? Anybody is there? I don't want to be happy. I want to be unhappy. That means he feels happy and unhappy. Because everybody wants happiness. Because it is a nature. Why everybody looking for happiness? Everybody looking for peace. This is also this is also kind of sadhana. Why? Just question this. Why I should be happy? Why I should be happy? Why I should be peaceful? This is vichara. Vedanta vichara. Why I should be happy? Then if you question this, why I should be happy, when you are questioning, then I'll understand, yes, this is my nature is happiness. The very nature itself is happiness. That is a Satchid Ananda. Ananda means what? Happiness. Bliss. Your nature is Ananda. That is why, but we are confused. We are so much confused that, we are searching that happiness outside. That is the only difference. Only difference between Jnani, realized soul, and to us, difference is between realized soul and ordinary soul. Realized soul, they discover that happiness is within. The happiness is there inside only, within me only. So ordinary people like us, what we search happiness outside. Oh, if I get mobile, beautiful one iPhone, latest iPhone, I will be happy. Once you purchase, a new model will come. Then immediately mind will go towards. Then you are gone running after, just like mirage. In the desert, as if water is there, you are just running towards water, but actually there is no water there. Like that. So this happiness is within you only. That you have to discover. So that through that when you are identifying with this not self, then all these problems will come. That way Shankaracharya beautifully says, Adhyasa Bhashini, what is it? All self and non-self both are mixed up. Because of that mixed up, people are suffering. This is Maya. Sri Ramakrishna in his own word. So the one man may read Bhagavata by the light of lamp, and another may commit a forgery by that very light. But the lamp is unaffected. The inside real self is unaffected. Because you are identifying with it something not self, because of that you are suffering. The sun sheds its light on the wicked as well as on virtuous. You may ask, how then can one explain misery and sin and happiness? The answer is that these apply only to Jiva. What Shankara says, same thing. Jiva means Jiva with identification with this body and mind. This is Jiva. You separate yourself with body and mind, you are one with Brahman. When you identify with this body and mind, you will be called as Jiva. When you separate yourself, Brahma Satya Jagan Mithya, Jivo Brahma Ivana Paraha, Shankara clearly says. Brahma Satya Jagan Mithya, when you get the knowledge, when you get your knowledge that this Brahman only alone is Satya, Brahman alone is true, Jagan Mithya. This Mithya means doesn't mean it's untrue. Mithya means now it is there, next moment it will not be there. It is impermanent. If you know this truth, Brahma Satya Jagan Mithya, you separate yourself this Mithya Jagat, separate yourself, then you and the Brahman are now difference. You and the Brahman are one. That's why in the Sarmananda, in the Bible, Christ says in Sarmananda mode, for those ordinary devotees says, I am the son of God. I am the son of Father in the heaven, he said. For close devotees, what he said, for close devotees, for close disciples, I and the Father are one, he said. But this they did not understand properly. I and the Father are one. But this highest Vedantic idea they are not taken. Only they are depending on only theology of the Christianity. But if you understand properly the teachings of Christ, they are very close to Vedanta. But they given more importance to the theology rather than giving importance to the philosophy. If they are given in Swami himself said, our Swami Ranganathan, 13th president of our order, he says, if Christian world had given importance towards Vedanta, there would not be any persecution in the Western world. Because if you see, Swamiji himself said, there is only one religion propagated without bloodshed, that is Buddhism. Rest of all the belief systems like other Abrahamic religion, They spread all over the only on the point of the sword. Swamiji said this. And Swamiji himself said, Swamiji also said, and Swami Ranganathaji gave a lecture in America in Berkeley, somewhere in Berkeley University. He says, if Christian world had given importance for Vedanta, if they have taken assimilate these Vedantic teachings, there will not be any persecution in this world in the name of religion. They did not understand properly the teachings of Christ. See, he clearly says, I and the Father are one. What does it mean? I and the Father are one means what? You also are one with God. This is what Brahman says. That one consciousness. Ekam satyipra bahuda vadanti. All of Veda Upanishad says, the one truth is one. Because they call it in different names. So, here also, Sri Ram, you may ask, how then can one explain misery and sin and unhappiness? The answer is that these apply only to Jiva. So when you identify yourself with this body and mind, you will be called Jiva. Brahman is unaffected by them. There is poison in a snake, but though others may die if beaten by it, the snake itself is not affected by the poison. Just like snake has got poison in its tooth. If it bites others, other person will die, but it will not die. Poison within us. Like that, Brahman is within us, Atman is within us. That will not be affected by anything outside world. Or affected by outside the world, outside with other problems of the outside world. Only when you identify, you are separate yourself from this outside world, you will be free. When you identify with this world, then you have to suffer. What Brahman is cannot be described. It cannot be described. What Yajnavalkya clearly said, you cannot see the seer of the sea. You cannot think a thinker of thoughts. So what Sri Ramakrishna, same thing he says, what Brahman is cannot be described. All things in the world, the Vedas, the Puranas, the Tantras, the 6 systems of philosophy have been defiled. Defiled is English, what is it? Uchishta. All Veda, Puranas, everything Uchishta. Because we try to explain it, then it will be Uchishta. Uchishta doesn't mean only taking food, it will become Uchishta. Not like that. Through any senses. You try to explain through senses, that is Uchishta. So, defiled. Like food that has been touched by the tongue. Just like food touched by the Vedas, Puranas, Tantras, 6 systems of philosophy, all these things have been defiled, like food that has been touched by the tongue, for they have been read or uttered by the tongue. Because all those things uttered by tongue. Only one thing has not been defiled in this way, and that is Brahman. No one has ever been able to say what Brahman is. You cannot say. Just you have to explain. You have to experience. How you will experience? Just you have to close your eyes. Keep quiet. So that now let us keep quiet. So further we will discuss in next class. What will be the experience of Brahman? Just keep quiet. You have to enjoy yourself. Aham Brahmasmi is not for expression. You have to experience. So let us try to experience that Brahman till next class. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.